let's get into this Opie stuff here. We're gonna work up to him shitting on our boy Geno Bisconte, which I definitely don't want to see. But first, let's watch Opie. He says this is gonna piss me off. Let's take a look. Oh, look at those new graphics.
We've had a few more mass shootings, right? Oh, here we go. This is where he's gonna piss me off. This is where he's gonna piss me off. He's gonna do the gun talk thing. And we got politicians down there in Washington. They're not willing to do anything to try to figure this crap out. Ah, you like my angle? You ain't taking my gun. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Does Opie think that people watch his show and be like, yeah, you know, Opie and that hard-hitting fucking liberal gun commentary. Yeah, I'm ready to put up my... I think Opie's kind of overselling what people think about his gun talk. I don't think they really care what Opie thinks about guns.
I mean, this whole rant went off. The most prevalent thing to me is that when he moves out of the shot, I'm like, oh my God, you're using one of those ugly ass ring lights.
Yeah. You see that with so many streamers now. You see their ring lights in reflections, whether it's glasses or it's windows
their eyes.
Or their eyes. Yeah, it's like, get that fucking piece of shit out of it. How about an overhead light that people aren't going to see? But yeah, Opie, I love how Opie mentions the gun thing and then creates his own straw man to argue with. He goes, oh yeah, and then the shooting. Oh, this is where he's going to piss me off. Yeah, he's going to take our guns. I didn't say that. Yeah, Opie, you know who else didn't say what you were saying? The people who are watching you.
They were kind of waiting for you to make your point.
Yeah, give them a chance to hate your fucking stupid gun point you're about to make before you say that they're hating the stupid gun point you're making.
UFO, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But they are incapable, or they don't want to take on the mass shooting problem in America. See, so you say mass shooting problem. Oh, okay. He didn't say gun problem. Okay. All right. I'll stay on Instagram for a little longer.
This is amazing. Opie is like the king of creating his own straw men. You know, this is actually sort of brilliant. If you can't actually draw an audience to your show, invent an audience and then perform for it.
Okay.
It worked for Ray Fiennes and Red Dragon.
Define worked.
It's kind of a similar Opie Francis Dollarhide. They kind of create an audience and then perform for it. It's perfect.
He said mass shooting problem. He didn't say gun problem in America. Okay, I think we're good still. And then these idiot politicians, they hide behind, well, it's a mental health issue. You've heard it. It's a mental health issue. All right.
In fairness, Opie, have you not seen some of these people? In fact, all of these people who do these mass shootings, they're fit for a straitjacket most of the time.
So are we talking mass shootings like one shooting with a lot of people, or are we talking about a mass of shootings like, say, Chicago every year?
Well, no, now Chicago shootings are counted in the mass shooting. You have to have 2 or more victims, and then it's considered a mass shooting. If multiple people are wounded, it's a mass shooting. So now they're screaming, they're going, the number of mass shootings is up. Yeah, for the same reason autism is up. You guys cast a wider net. Of course you're going to catch more fish.
We started counting more, and wouldn't you believe it, we found more cases.
Yeah.
Then how about today, you dummies down there in Washington?
Get 'em,
The language
Opie.
is getting strong, Instagram. I hope you stay with me and don't give me a 30-day ban. Then how about today down there in Washington, you try to start figure out some legislation for mental health issues in America. What?
I love how every time Opie tries to venture into making a point, he never actually makes his point. He just says something and then pretends he's being edgy and then creates a Jim Gaffigan voice character to be like.
So the straw man is just to take away from the fact that you were getting to a point and then you don't have one, so just go, all right, straw man, and then I'll burn him down.
Please, straw. It's the Opie and the straw man in the morning show.
They don't want to do that. They don't want to do anything down there in Washington. They just want to show up at events and get their egos, stroked and get their pictures taken with their people. That's all they want.
What's with the accents, too? Also, that's not what they want, Opie. They also want to take their money from multi-billionaires who are secretly teaching them how to destroy the society so they can rebuild it in their image. That's the other.
They're also having a grand old time fleecing all of us and slowly trickling that wealth up into their bank account.
Yeah. So that one was a little clickbaity. Opie, this is where he's gonna piss me off. All right, so where's our next one? We got to go to. Oh, here's many times it was hard to look at Anthony, but we've gotten a lot of Anthony stuff. Here you go. Here's Opie. Opie has a message for the hater. You're a traitor. So we got a hater traitor with in the Opie world. Let's find out. And then we've got him shitting on Rogan, and then we've got the Geno Bisconte clip that we've all been waiting patiently for.
Aldo on a broadcast, we're like listening to a killer band. Opie was the John Paul Jones who made the LI, whatever that is. Thank you, Jay. Who made the link between all the other players. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. That's why I have no respect for these haters, because in the end, like me, hate me. I was the one that started the whole damn show. I had a vision.
Wait a minute. You did not start the Opie and Anthony show. You can't start the Opie and Anthony show until Anthony gets there. Once Anthony got there, if you go back and you listen to what Opie was doing on overnight radio on WBAB in Long Island, it was not the Opie and Anthony show. Opie physically got to radio first. Okay, fine, fair. But I also don't like that Opie's yelling at people. Or no, now he's giving people like credit. He's like, oh, thank you, man, for saying that. Opie, that's the thing we've all said about you. Yeah, you were the guy who kind of ran the point. You ran the board, you introduced the topics, and then you let the funny guys go. Why is it when we say it that way, you get pissy? But then when someone like that guy on your stream says, well, Opie, you were the link between all those guys, you go, hey, man, thanks, appreciate that. That's the same thing. And by the way, Johnny, what's driving you nuts about this video?
Just why is it so dark? I can see your freaking laptop screen reflecting.
Yes.
Can we turn on a light in your house?
We can see Opie's show prep or whatever the fuck he's doing. I think he just has his stream up and he's reading the chat.
Holy shit, is that Pornhub?
Oh my God, it's like working with Randy K again.
The show that would be known as the Opie and Anthony show, and I hired just about every effing player.
But then why do you get mad at us? And why do you turn me down, or why do you accept my interview request and then turn it down after you go and obsessively listen to a bunch of my shows and then say, well, wait a minute, you said that I wasn't the funny guy, but at least I have a family. I'm going to have to pass on your interview request. I just said the thing that you just said. You just said I was the guy who hired all the people. I put all the pieces in place. I set it all up. That's what we say you did. We say, no, Opie wasn't the funny guy. Opie was like the program director, the board op. That was his role on the show. And then you go, oh, you guys are haters. You guys are shitty. And then you go and repeat the same thing back to me. Thank you, Opie, for putting me in my place by repeating my point back to me word for word. Appreciate that, pal.
So to hate on me for that is just complete and utter garbage, and I think you're a traitor for doing that if you want to know the damn truth.
Traitor.
Oh,
you don't
you're
have to
a
like
traitor.
me, but to forcibly go after me and my family and my kids when I was the guy that started the whole damn thing.
Oh, that sounds like a little bit of bitterness. I thought we didn't care. And by the way, none of us would ever go after your wife or your children. They're lovely people. They're incredible
I don't think we've
human
said anything about that.
I feel bad for them.
In fact, that was the one credit we gave you.
Yeah.
You had a great family.
Right? The one fucking credit I gave this guy, wonderful family, just not a funny guy. And now Opie's saying in this video, well, I wasn't the funniest guy, but I put the whole thing together. No shit. So all of this backbiting and fighting for almost a year now, Ope, and you finally admit I was right. And you don't even know that you admitted I was right. You know what, Opie? I want to say this for this clip specifically. Opie, apology accepted. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, we're getting closer to our Geno Bisconte clip here. Now we got to go to the Joe Rogan one. Opie again has I guess both of the people on his show here, Johnny, are are both
In
sitting.
witness protection program?
Yeah, they're both in witness protection. Or maybe Opie's interviewing this guy for a documentary, but he wants to remain nameless, and he'll have the voice changer on him. I don't know.
By the way to look like you're doing this guest spot here out of a hotel room. I feel like I should see a vending machine in your mirror behind those blinds.
They're both hiding from an assassin in a horror movie, apparently.
Or a woman they owe child support.
This is a 3-minute clip, so we're not going to do this whole thing because we got to get to the Geno one. But let's hear Opie go off on Joe Rogan. For what reason, I have no idea. Because, like, Opie's thing is, Joe Rogan doesn't have me on his show. Well,
yeah, because he doesn't know you.
Yeah, Joe Rogan had Ric Flair on his show recently. I think Ric Flair's got a few more things going on than Opie Hughes. And Ric Flair, as much as I love the Nature Boy, is like a lower level guest on the Joe Rogan Experience. So, that's 16-time world champion and now weed salesman, Ric Flair. Yeah, Opie, you can't be mad at Joe for not having you on his show. What are you two going
to talk to him about?
I was just going to say that. What are you going to talk about on Joe Rogan? What, the old days of Opie and Anthony? He likes Anthony better. He'll have him on if he wants to talk about that. But here's the problem. Opie and Anthony's been dead for 10 years. Joe Rogan knows that most of his audience isn't going to give a shit about O&A talk. So why have you on?
Well, to get your freaking fingers into that really, really large Opie Hughes audience. You just want to have some inroads. See if you can grow your brand a little bit.
Hey, welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. We've got Opie Hughes here from the old Opie and Anthony show. Hey, Opie, tell us about your big Facebook streams. Like, what?
I heard Joe Rogan tonight basically saying that Opie and Anthony's what got him into podcasting.
Good for Joe Rogan. But when I needed you, Joe, where were you, Joe? Good for you, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he was busy having relevant people on his show. I mean, imagine, like, Opie's a bigger nobody than we are now. Like, you go on Social Blade, you look at our numbers, we have more viewers than Opie does by a country mile. Like, it's not even close. Like, Opie's kind of in, like, that Chad Onion category. Like, he's that low in viewership. Whereas we're well above that. I think if you go on Social Blade, we double or quadruple all of their numbers. It's more than double, less than quadruple, I think. But it's like not even close. It's not even a competition. And you don't see us going like, oh, where's our invite to Joe Rogan? We are about 1 million viewers away from being relevant enough to be on Joe Rogan's show. Not even in the stratosphere. This guy, who used to have a show 10 years ago, is asking Joe why he can't be on his program.
And more importantly, where were you when I needed you? Like, so wait a minute. Because you inspired somebody to do something, they were automatically beholden to you to keep an eye on you, and the minute you were in trouble, just jump down and save you.
Exactly. That's the way he thinks.
Oh, he can go after himself too.
Ooh.
I needed him one time. Put him on my show 1 million times when he was coming up. When he was developing everything, and he's great at what he does, and he deserves it.
Opie, that's just it. You put him on when he was coming up. You're going down. Rogan doesn't have a lot of people on his show when they're on the way down. They're either they've arrived or they're on their way up, and he's giving them a little boost.
Hey, today on the Joe Rogan Experience, we're gonna talk to somebody who the sun has set on their career, and we're just gonna watch the embers burn out slowly.
Coming up next on the Joe Rogan Experience, former World Series champion and Twins first baseman Doug Mientkiewicz will be on the program. We just wanted to bring guys who were gone and forgotten 10 years ago and aren't really doing much now. That's not true. That's not fair to Doug Mientkiewicz. Whereas Opie has been streaming on Facebook, Doug Mientkiewicz has been managing minor league baseball teams. So it's to be fair to Dougie Baseball.
He's affected more people than
yes.
The money, that goes without saying. But he can go F himself because the one time I needed him, he blew me off. But now
Hey, Joe, the one time I demanded that I come on your show, you wouldn't book me. Fuck you, Joe Rogan. Hey, Johnny, how do you think Joe Rogan's handling this? When was this video made? 2 days ago. How do you think Joe Rogan is handling this this earth-shattering rejection he's received?
I'm pretty sure he isn't aware of it at this moment. I don't think he knows.
You don't think he knows that Opie has told him to?
This breaking news just in, Joe Rogan has hurt himself and is being medically hospitalized. Extreme depression set in when he learned he had disappointed Greg Opie Hughes.
And that he was not there for Mr. Hughes when he needed him the most. Oh, God. All right.
Abandoned my boy.
Give me the blood, Lord, so I can go back to Opie and have him on my show. By the way, I don't think, Opie, I don't think if you want to be on Rogan's show, shouting fuck Joe Rogan is really going to help matters. Someone's doing a really bad Kevin Brennan impression here. All right, so let's get to the main event. Let's get to Opie. Now, this one's titled, Opie Goes Off on Geno. Leave me out of your trash. Now, I don't know what friend of the show, Geno Bisconte, did exactly to upset Opie.
But I know he did something.
All I ever saw was a tweet from Geno that referenced Opie in reference to, like, people being washed up.
All right, so this isn't like Geno's a guest on the show.
No, this isn't. Opie really has no reason to bring up Geno other than he wants to shit on something compound related. So here we go. Opie versus Geno. Let's take a look.
Some idiot out there was trying to say that I was drunk podcasting on Friday night. I wasn't drunk podcasting. I take pleasure in the fact that I could do this sober.
So he's putting up Geno's tweet, which says, Opie and MLC podcasting with the drunk podcasting. Hello, late to the party. Me and Anthony Cumia have been doing this for years over at Compound America.
It doesn't seem like that references. Oh, wait, no, Opie.
Yeah, but still, first of all, he's fucking around. He's kidding. He's busting your balls. Opie's never been good with that. But also, Opie, have you listened to yourself podcast? You sound like you could forgive someone for thinking you're intoxicated. You go, I want to talk about guns. And now they're pissed off. Did I piss off the haters with the guns? Oh, he's going to take my guns. Oh, my guns are going away. Did I say that to you? Cheers.
This is going to be the part where I get pissed off.
I mean, can you not forgive someone for thinking, I think this guy's fucked up?
I mean, he does sound drunk every time he goes, God.
Yeah, or he over enunciates words. He goes, yeah, we got to get the politicians over in the Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. Like, he gives off almost a Tony Clifton vibe when he starts talking like a dipshit. And then he goes, hey, how dare people think I'm inebriated? No, Opie, you don't understand. Saying that you're drunk podcasting is a compliment. Otherwise, they're assuming that you mean to do those voices and sound like shit. Them saying you're drunk podcasting is excusing what is otherwise really shitty, hacky talent levels.
Mrs. Clinton, I understand what you're saying, but trust me on this. I've been an edgy comedian radio broadcaster. This speech will take off. Just walk out and say, I ain't never been a long ways tired.
Oh, that was an Opie speech. Damn it, we should have known.
Fuck.
And then at the end, you don't say God bless America, you say cheers. Cheers. And make sure you repeat it 3 times so they like and laugh at your funny voice. So, all right, Geno threw very minimal shade at Opie. And Opie is now upset and says, hey, I take pride in the fact that I podcast sober.
Well, you know, I understand why Opie's upset. I mean, Geno linked Opie in this. There was no way for him to avoid it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he never added Opie. Opie had to actually go find this tweet from Geno.
To do this sober. There are a lot of people out there.
You know what? I bet you Opie's so obsessed with Anthony that when Anthony is tagged in a tweet, it does pop up on his timeline. Like he's curated his Twitter that way where Anthony shit shows up. All right. I'm sorry. I'll shut up now.
A lot of people out there, including a guy I used to work with that can't really do this when he's sober. And then this.
Oh, he retweeted at him. Hey, you piece of garbage. I wasn't drunk podcasting. I'm not a loser drunk like you, Geno. Leave me out of your trash. And I bet you he meant trash.
God.
God.
loser, this loser of an alcoholic was trying to like push the agenda that I was drunk on Friday night live streaming. He could go F himself too.
Whoa.
That would be Geno Bisconte.
Oh, there you go. Joe Rogan and Geno Bisconte, both on the Opie shit list. Look out. This drunk loser who said I was podcasting drunk. Dude, you should be happy with the Geno shout out. There's a lot of people out there that don't know you do anything anymore. Maybe they'll come by and check out the stream.
Dude, I wouldn't knock it. I mean, like, I don't know if you're aware of this guy, but I think there's a few people out there who'd be like, well, I don't want to. Why would I watch a show with a Greg Opie? He's drunk. All right, I'll give it a minute.
A drunk Opie ranting on everybody? Sign me up. Yeah, Opie, usually I'm with you that broadcasters shouldn't be doing their shows drunk. They're not as good. But you, I would put that under the category of can't hurt nothing.
Keep me out of your trash. And then out of nowhere, Geno, who I never did anything to. I never did anything to Geno Bisconte. Geno Bisconte works for Anthony. Anthony has made it very clear, you work for me, you got to hate on Ope, which is complete.
May I say something? This show works for Compound Media. I mean, don't get me wrong, right. We're part-timers, but we work for Compound Media. CompoundMedia.com. Sign up. There's about 4 Steel Toe shows on there and another one coming on Memorial Day. But we work for Compound Media. Not only does Anthony not tell us that we have to hate Opie Hughes, Anthony doesn't even really get involved in the scheduling, programming, and shows part of this. That's an E-Rock job. And E-Rock has never said you have to hate Opie. So no offense, Ope. I think that somebody is feeling a little bit of FOMO and about not being part of Compound and has to somehow interject themselves into being involved in some way, shape, or form. It makes him feel better. This is how sick Opie is. It makes him feel better to go, oh, at least they talk about me over there. Oh, yeah, I'm such a villain, and they're so scared of Opie that they have to hate me in order to do a show there. Opie, we don't have to hate you to have a show at Compound.
We don't think about you.
It doesn't hurt. But we don't have to.
Completely ridiculous. Take some dumb, stupid-ass shot at me, and I'm not taking shots from a guy that literally has roommates and has never done anything with his career.
How dare you? Geno Bisconte no longer has roommates, sir. He lives in East Harlem all by himself like a big boy, and sometimes his very young girlfriend Keanu comes over and they eat Italian food and have sex.
Oh, wait, I thought she lived there. I figured she was paying for it. I figured she was the money. And that I figured Geno was kind of like, a house husband, and she's like, well.
Somebody shit on Geno a while back, and they said, your girlfriend pays your rent. And I told him, I go, you should have come back with him and say, that's ridiculous. Anthony pays my rent. That would have been more accurate. But all right.
The point is, I'm not paying my rent.
Exactly.
Jealous?
Opie's all fired up now. Let's see. He's all worked up now. Let's see if he turns this into lemonade.
Not taking shots from a guy like that. Sorry. Literally hasn't done anything of significance in his career. And he's going to take some dumb little shot at me.
I mean, you're both at the same level of relevant at this point. Well, Geno's probably a little higher up the food chain than you are. See, that's the problem.
People watch his show.
Yeah, like entertainment is a what have you done for me lately business. Opie, you're down here with us nobodies now. You're down here with us nobodies and us irrelevants, and you're doing worse than we are at this whole thing. So you don't get to pull the I was on Opie and Anthony a long time ago card. We all know that part. We all know that you have accomplished more than us. But if you're going to stay in the game, we have to look at it from a perspective of what are you doing now? And I'm sorry, but you are not above anyone to shit on, especially not Geno, who probably has a bigger audience than you do right now. So I get you were on a big show, and I get this is a big adjustment for you. But if you're going to keep playing the game, you have to understand what your position in it is.
You don't understand. I was on MASH. Yeah, that was forever ago. Who cares?
Yeah, get out of here, Hawkeye.
Don't pull me into your alcoholic world. I pride myself in the fact that I'm not a big partier. I pride myself in the fact that I could count maybe on one hand the times I did a radio show or a live stream under the influence.
Cheers.
You're not
Ooh.
going to pull me into that garbage.
Did anyone else see the big cut in the middle of that?
No.
There was a big cut where he goes, I could count on one hand the amount of times I've been drunk or inebriated for a stream. And then it cut to something else.
I pride myself in the fact that I'm not a big partier. I pride myself in the fact that I could count maybe on one hand the times I did a radio show or a live stream under the influence.
Oh, wonder what was said in that.
What did we chop out of there?
You called Geno the N-word. That's a terrible thing to do. Not only that, go watch an Opie live stream up close in personal sometimes and watch how many times he spittles. He is a big spittler.
Is it an age thing? I just feel like, do I have to worry about that? Am I going to need a rag?
No,
like, Jesus,
I think what it is, it's the intensity of his performance. He does all those great voices. And he does all those great accents, and they're so you gotta throw so much of yourself into those that you can't be worrying if you're spittling or not. So when you're going cheers and doggy and he's going to piss me off now. Like when you're doing shit like that works up the spittle. That's basically Opie has so much overflow talent that it's seeping out of his mouth when he speaks. So get your spit pans out and catch that gold, kiddos.